Hello everyone, I am NonnaGrace, and I just want to give you a little bit of an update of what's been going on with me. I did go on vacation, but the vacation was to visit my son who lives in Indiana. And while we were there, we did our keto. We ate just like we do at home. We had a lot of salad and I had a lot of kale. And I got to measure myself when I was out there because my birthday was when we were out there. And I always measure myself. I didn't bring those statistics down, but I can share them another time. But I am a lot smaller than I was a year ago, which was wonderful. But anyways, while we travel, it's a 10-hour drive. And so when we go, we like to take one day, go about 5 hours, and then stay overnight, and then go the next day the rest of the way. And when we come home, we do the same thing. Well, on the way there, of course, I brought boiled eggs with us because we're really not hungry. When you're doing keto, you find that you're not as hungry, and it's easy to do a longer fast. But if we did get hungry, we had boiled eggs. I always boil eggs because I have chickens, and so I might as well boil eggs and bring them with me. So I brought boiled eggs, and when we got to the hotel, I think it was, we decided that maybe we should eat something. So we had some of the boiled eggs, and it was probably around 4:30 in the afternoon that we had the eggs. And we had some coffee because there's coffee. But you know what? Oh dear. I had coffee and I have to put creamer in it. And they had the creamer that had sugar in it. And you know, I only put a little bit in and I could taste the sugar. But it wasn't enough to spoil. I actually think I like it better now without the sugar, which is really surprising because, boy, I used to put a lot of sugar in my coffee. And so I had the coffee with the creamer. And then we went on and we went to my son's house. And when we got there, we went to the store and we bought all of the things that we like to eat. And I like my cheese with my salami and my provolone, the provolone cheese with the string cheese with the salami. And we definitely got that. And then we got the kale and the salad. We bought some romaine lettuce, and we bought some spinach. And I bought a mix where it had the cabbage and carrots and little stuff in it. I bought the salad mix too, just to make it easier to make our salads when we were there. And then we had chicken, and we had some steak, and we went to a hibachi grill type thing where they cook the food right in front of you. Very expensive. Not something that I would care to do again, but it was interesting. And the one thing that I really worried about, was my plants. I was afraid they'd die while I was gone, especially the little, the spaghetti squash plant. Well, I have to show you. My spaghetti squash plant did extremely well. My daughter did not kill it. She stayed here at the house. And I must have watered it just right because it is doing so good. And I looked outside to see if I possibly could get this in the ground yet. No, it's still only like 32 degrees. So it's going to be a little while longer in the house, but I'm hoping that it does not die. But look at how beautiful. It's doing really good. The seed that came up first is not doing as well as the other seed, but the third one never came up. So this is good enough because usually one plant would probably give me enough squash, but 2 plants will even give me more. Then I also wanted to show, this is how we brought the eggs. I made some eggs again, and they're just in the container. We just eat these eggs, but I'm going to turn these into deviled eggs because you know what? It amazes me when people do an egg fast. I like eggs, but not that well. You know, they're good, but you know how I really like them? I can't have them that way, but I really like them. I like them where you scramble them up, and when you put the egg in the frying pan, you put a piece of bread on top. Oh, that is so good. It tastes like French toast. But because we don't eat bread, I haven't had that, and I'm really too lazy to make the keto breads. I would rather just do without, because I'm on the lazy side. Then, okay, and the thing that I do like to make, and it's these little candies. They're like, I make candy, I know, but I need a little treat now and then. And so I make these little candies, and I put them in, I can show you. They're, what they are is, I use pecans. Pecans. I use 1/4 cup of pecans. Sometimes I leave them whole. If I leave them whole, they look like this. If I chop them up, they look like more like this. But I have to tell you what else is in there, because you'll say, that looks like there's something else in there. There is something else in there. And these are those little silicone cups that I have them in. It makes it so easy, and you just put them in the oven. I mean, put them in the refrigerator. Anyways, you use pecans, 1/4 cup of pecans. Then I use the Ghirardelli chocolate, the baking bits. Now these do have sugar in them, but you count them out. I use only 8. I think 16 is a serving, but I use only 8, because then I add it with like 2 tablespoons of butter, maybe a little extra, because sometimes the butter's okay. And then I put hemp seeds in, and because I have 6 little cups, I use 6 little teaspoons of hemp, and I put it in there, and then I stir it with the chocolate. You have to melt the chocolate in the microwave for 30 seconds. You just put it in there for 30 seconds. Then I put my butter on in the dish, and I put it in for another 30 seconds. Then I start dumping the hemp and the nuts in, and I stir it around. And then I just put it in my little, silicone cups here. And usually I eat 1. Some days I eat 2. My husband goes, "You ate 2." He's such a stickler. He's really, I'm a sloppy keto. He is to the T. He doesn't eat anything he's not supposed to eat. And whereas I kind of go off and I eat something that you're not supposed to, or a little extra. But anyways, that's what we did, and I worried about my plants. That's the thing I worry about. And chickens. I worried that the chickens would run out of water. I knew they'd have enough food, but you have to make sure they have water. Water is important for the chickens. Water is important for us. And so, but they were fine. My daughter did a good job. And then I asked, how's my dog doing? Because my dog, I'm sure he misses me, because he follows me everywhere I go. And when I'm standing still, he stands on my feet, sits on my feet, and he keeps them warm. My cat is outside, but my cat did fine. My cat is a mean cat. He bites, and he scratches, and he does a lot of naughty, but he's a big cat. He comes to eat every time it's time to eat. He's right there waiting for me to feed him. But he did good. And my turtle, when I came home, my turtle's water was greener than green. She did not change the water at all. Apparently she didn't know she was supposed to do that. But she did feed him, and he's doing okay. It was a turtle that I found outside that some bird must have picked up, because there's no way the turtle could have been found where I found it. The pond is not a mile, but the pond is up on the hill and further back. So it must have been a bird, must have dropped it last year, and it's dropped it right on the cement. And luckily the little thing was okay. It was no bigger than probably about a 50-cent piece, and now, or a silver dollar, maybe a silver dollar. And he's grown some. They sleep during the winter. They don't eat at all. They just go to sleep. They kind of half hibernate. And then when spring comes, they start eating. Well, spring is here, according to the turtle, but the outside says it's still cold. When we were in Ohio, we went to bed, and there was no snow, but when we woke up, there was like 1.5 inches of snow. But the closer we got to home, There was no snow. But today it's been spitting snow on and off. It's cold. It's gloomy. It's not a pretty day. But anyways, I had a good trip. It was cold. I was hoping for warmer weather. Usually Indiana is warmer than where we live here in Western New York. But it was cold. But I did go outside. I put my earmuffs on. I put my gloves on. And zipped my coat up to my neck. And my son goes, "You act like it's winter out there." And well, it's cold. It's so cold. I don't like the cold. As many of you have heard me say before, I don't like the cold. Well, anyways, I just wanted to say hi to all of you, and I hope you all had a very happy Easter. I was on the road driving at Easter. I did not indulge in any Easter festivities. I went to church. We went to the 7:30 Mass, which was extremely busy, but I didn't want to wait for the 9 o'clock because we did the 9 o'clock last year at the church that we were at, and it was, you almost weren't going to get a seat. But this parish is huge, and it was very, very nice. And so we went to 7:30 Mass, got home about 8:30, back to my son's at about 8:30, and we left shortly after to get back on the road because I wanted to get home by Monday. I had a person that wanted to check out one of my apartments, and we still had a little more work to do in it because I really did not intend to rent it out because renters make me very nervous. I should not be a landlord, but I am because I thought it would be a nice retirement when I decide to retire. But you know, there's a lot of stress that goes with owning more houses than your own, because you know what, when something isn't right in your house, you know what to do to fix it. Whereas where you don't live, and if something goes off a little bit, it's like, oh, I don't even know. I don't know how the plumbing is. I don't know where the wirings are. You know, we're here, we know where everything is because we put it all in. We had to gut our whole house and do it right from scratch practically. And so we know where everything is. Whereas over there, somebody else did the work, and somebody else did the wiring, somebody else did the plumbing, and the houses are old, and who knows. So the last time we had a problem, we just call the plumber. Let the plumbers deal with it, and then they can do it. So everything is good so far. And I'm gonna go because I did make myself a cup of coffee. I really did. I made a cup of coffee. It's right here. And I put my straw in. I missed my straw when I was away. I didn't bring a straw. And I didn't have access to a plastic one, so I just drank it like you're supposed to drink coffee, by sipping it off the top of the mug. But yeah, I made myself a cup of coffee. I think I will drink it now, and I will see you the next time I talk to you. I hope everybody's fine. I think I said that, but I really do. I hope you're all doing fine, and I will talk to you again. So take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.